How's it going, YouTube? Xmplez here, and welcome back to the Escape from Tarkov series. This is the second episode in this series. If you haven't watched the first episode, I'll leave a link to it in the description down below. If I do remember, I'll also put a card up in the top right hand corner for you guys to check out that particular episode as well. But nevertheless, in this particular episode, we're going to try and continue the success that we had in the previous episode. If you guys don't know the rules, I did explain them in the first episode, and I'll leave a little link to, well, not a link, but a little box area type thing down in the description below, which will go through all the rules that we're running through with regards to this Escape from Tarkov series. With regards to the rules, there's not necessarily too much difference between this particular series and the hardcore series that are like so Deadly Solve and Pestily go ahead and play. However, there are a few differences. For example, one of them is we can use our scav if we so desire to do so, but nevertheless, we did end up doing a few things in the hideout, i.e. upgrading, I think it was the either rest area or the space across from the rest area, which I can't remember what it's called, the heating. So we upgraded the heating. I couldn't remember for the life of me what it was called, but we upgraded the heating to level 2, plus started a few things in the hideout as well. One thing that I was contemplating doing is buying myself some painkillers and just making our first Salewa. Actually, yeah, I was like, why can't I do that? And I remembered I can't even use the flea market to buy things anyway. I'm so used to my first account or my normal account where we can actually go ahead and buy stuff off the flea market. This one we can't. Just remembered we need some fuel in order to be able to do that. So part of me wants to run interchange in this particular episode. We do have an MBS backpack, so we can have a can or two of fuel in here. The main kind of thing we're looking for at the moment is the MP133 shotguns. We have a 153, which obviously isn't quite the one we're looking for with regards to the quest that we're currently trying to do for Prapor. But nevertheless, we have the shotgun there if we do want to run around with a shotgun at some point, or if it's the only option we have. But nevertheless, we are probably going to start off with an interchange run in today's video. I'm going to hop straight into a PMC, I think. I'm not going to worry about the scav too much for now. Might do a scav run at the end of the episode or in between a couple of PMC runs. But we are going to go interchange, and we are going to go for quarter to 12 in the morning. So the thing that I'm going to ensure for this raid, in fact, before I do so, I've just realised I've still got my keys from, or for customs, should I say, in my container. So we'll take those out. So interchange, pretty much at 12 midday, we're going to ensure our armoured rig, and we're going to uninsure all of the magazines that are in the rig, because we can only insure one item per raid. These are considered items. If it's a weapon, for example, everything on that weapon, including the magazine, is fine. But if it's something like an armored rig like this, or a rig in general, just untick everything that's in the rig, which in this case is just the spare mags for our Vepr VPO 136. We don't have any spare ammo, so we do hopefully need to try and kill a few scavs in order to get ourselves the ammo or another gun even, to continue going. But the main thing we're going for here is A, some fuel, and B, to see if we can kill some scavs and potentially get the 133 shotgun. So we'll go ahead and ensure our armored rig, and without further ado, guys, we're going to jump into the lobby, and I'll see you there. Alrighty, so our first venture into interchange, and I realised that when I loaded in, I said into the lobby, I meant into the raid. So used to saying things like into the lobby for other games that I made videos on way back in the day, which aren't actually on this channel, but nevertheless, I didn't want to jump there, that was my bad. But nevertheless, it is what it is. So I'm going to go underground here. We want to get into Ollie if we can, but I'm going to go underground, see if I can get a few scavs under here potentially, and we'll go from there. Pretty sure, yeah, it's only a single fire gun. I had to make sure, I couldn't remember off the top of my head. And this game feels like sensitivity-wise, it feels really slow compared to what I was streaming last night. I'm recording this on Tuesday evening, and I streamed last night, obviously Monday, and I streamed some Spellbreak for the first time, second time playing it, but first time on stream. And yeah, the sensitivity on Spellbreak compared to this game is substantial. So yeah, it feels very, very slow compared to Spellbreak, but it is what it is. So I can still I can hear people fighting above us, but the main thing that we're looking for down here, if we can, is scavs. If not, we'll just make our way upstairs, try and avoid as many players as we can. We'll go from there. I just got to remember I don't have the same level of stamina on this character as I do on my main character. So used to being able to sprint for longer periods of time playing on kind of my main account on stream and stuff, that when I run out of stamina on this guy, I'm kind of like, why have I run out of stamina? And then, yeah, I realise why. Because I'm playing on my standard account, which is for my YouTube series. But regardless, we are not finding any scavs. We've done a little bit of a circle just to see if we could run into any scavs down here. Haven't seen any of them. Haven't heard any comms from any either, which is slightly annoying because it would have been nice to run into a scav or two down here. So we were able to grab ourselves potentially some more loot, maybe a shotgun or two for the quest for Prapor. I have realised that, excuse me, with the backpack that we have brung in with us, we're probably not going to be able to take 2 shotguns. One's going to be like our maximum. We might be able to take 2 if we kind of take the stock off or find one that has the pistol grip. But so far, no luck on that. So we have. I am going to go into the power station, I think. Mostly to see if we can get anything loot-wise from the PCs. But also, we can turn the power on. Okay, someone has been here. I don't know if they've turned the power on now. Let's just have a quick check. They haven't turned the power on, so they could still be here. So we need to be a little wary of that side of things. They could be at top of the power station. They could be inside the computer room still. But a little bit of a different plan than we were first anticipating. So the car is here if we get enough money, if we find any money, in order to come out and take the vehicle. So that door is open. I can't remember if it spawns open or spawns closed. But I am going to slow walk a little bit, just to listen out and see if I hear anyone inside. I don't seem to hear anyone inside, but they could be crouch or slow walking themselves. There is a what looks to be a dead player over by the van. Looks to be already stripped when it comes to loot. Don't know if that was a scav or a player. Either way, it's outside. Right, we need the cigarettes, I know, for a quest in the future. I'm going to continue to slow walk here. I'm pretty sure that was a scav, but I just want to be on the safe side. That was inside, I'm pretty sure. That little sprint slide. Okay, that's the scav that we saw running around outside. He has a shotgun. Whether it's the right shotgun for us, I'm not too sure. Just going to check these jackets first. As I'm here, I might turn the power on. I don't actually, to be fair, it looks like it is turned on. I think I just spawned in too late to know that it was turned on, if that makes sense. I am going to just quickly examine that. So we only shot, 2 bullets at that scav, so we're okay on ammo-wise. This scav didn't have much backup ammo for the shotgun, so that is turned on. So our little late spawn that we did have kind of screwed us over when it comes to knowing if the power was on or not, which is not ideal. But at the same time, wanted to come down here, as I mentioned, to see if we could pick up a scav kill or two. Ended up picking up a single scav kill, which is fine. What I am going to do here is just close this door, because I am going to loot the PCs whilst I'm here. Obviously, we are here to try and grab ourselves some fuel. So that's kind of the main focal point for being in this particular map right now. So we will go into Ollie eventually, but right now we're just going to stick to staying in this area, try and grab ourselves. If that's a graphics card, which it is, that's insane. Okay, this could be interesting for the rest of this raid. Yeah, wasn't expecting that in the slightest, I'm gonna be honest. When I saw it pop up, I was like, that looks like a graphics card, but I could be wrong. Turns out it is a graphics card. The reason I'm not putting it into my container is the only thing that can go into my containers is keys. Hence, like this, for example. Hence why I am not putting the graphics card down here. That's something that I kind of thought, you know what, that rule from the hardcore series is pretty cool, pretty nice. It means that you've got to play in a completely different play style to what you would normally. So I thought, you know what, we're going to keep that little kind of focal point in from the hardcore series and go from there. I'm pretty sure I just heard someone on metal. I could be wrong, but I'm 90% sure I just heard someone on metal. So right now, all I'm doing here is just kind of looting up as much as possible. I'm tempted to take the Scav's rig and then kind of play about with if I do find fuel going from there. So I think we'll do just that, which also means we can do something like this, because that might mean that someone, if they do kill us, hopefully they don't, if they do kill us, we can have the graphics card kind of hidden a little bit from any potential people looking for them, maybe. But yeah, that graphics card find inside a computer is huge, absolutely massive. As I said, I can't put it into my container due to the rules that we established on the first episode. I've just seen either a person or a scav running outside the front, which is why I'll come back inside. This could be a player. Just by the way that they've opened this door, closed this door even, and I'm pretty sure they've opened the back door. Could be a player scav. Get wrecked. It was a player. I must have tapped him in the face. That's the only thing I can think of right there. I must have tapped him in the face. Right, we don't need a 153 shotgun. So it means we'll do this. We'll do this. Holy smokes, I will take that. I did not expect that at all. I'm going to be honest. Right, graphics card in here. I'm glad we won that fight. I'm so glad we won that fight. We don't win that fight there, we're in a lot of trouble, in my opinion. A lot of trouble. But let's just very quickly examine all of this. So we're going to need to move some space and some room for the rig. Okay, so we've got a helmet, but it's not a helmet I want. This guy's doing the blueberry quest, so I kind of feel a little bit sorry for him, but not as much as I would in, say, my normal account. But we've managed to get ourselves an M4A1. So I'm trying to contemplate what I want to do here. What extract do we have? We have Emacom. We have the Emacom extract. Okay, that's fine. That's not a problem. I want to see what ammo this guy was rocking in his M4. He had M855A1, so he was rocking pretty decent ammo. So what I want to do here is move those, move that. Is there anything that I want to drop? Shampoo I'm going to drop for now, just because, yeah, we don't really need the shampoo in my opinion. Do something like this, put that in there, we'll reload the M4, and then in here. We'll swap these 2 mags around. Put the RAM in there, and we'll put the cigarettes in there. Okay, so yeah, now I'm a little bit... I don't know where I want to go. I kind of just want to extract, reset the raid. I know we haven't really done what we came here to do, which is to try and get fuel. But getting that PMC kill was huge. Absolutely massive. We must have tapped him in the head with 1 or 2 of the bullets that we shot. There's literally no other explanation as to how we got that kill right there. He had, obviously, blueberry armor on, which isn't the greatest armor. The problem is we could take the no backpack extract, but we've got loot in our backpack that we kind of want to keep hold of. For example, the rig is something huge. The guy was a level 41, and he got killed by us. A low-level dweeb is probably what he was thinking. Obviously, little does he know we've got a main account that's level 44, so we are quite well versed in this game. We will make sure he's got it or had it on auto, which he did. I kind of had a feeling he did, but at the same time, I didn't want to be like, yeah, he's got it on full auto, and he didn't. So I think we are running towards a wrong extract, maybe. I think that might be train over there. I can't remember. I'm trying to think. That's definitely not Emacom, so we need to go back this way. Okay. Part of me still wants to go and explore inside for Ollie for the for the fuel to start making the Salewas. But with the big win that we've just had on this PMC and getting their M4, I honestly think we're gonna stick with trying to get out of this raid now. We've killed a scav, we killed a PMC. We've got a graphics card as well, which is absolutely huge. We've got the 1G phone, which is also quite big. Albeit we're probably not going to go for Kappa on this particular account. It's still quite nice to have a 1G phone because it sells for a little bit of money to traders. I think it might sell obviously more to the flea market, but according to the rules that we do have for this particular series, we are not allowed to sell on the flea market. We can buy on the flea market, but we cannot sell on the flea market. So one thing I really want to quickly do, if I can, is just see if I can do this on at least the bits and bobs that we can. Obviously, we examined the magazines, which means that we are okay with the reloading if needed. He has got pretty decent ammo as well for the M4, so it's not like we're going to be in a bad situation if we do have to fight another PMC or even a scav, albeit the scav shouldn't be too much of difficulty. I feel sorry for people that are on the blueberry quest still. I hated the blueberry quest. It's obviously not called the blueberry quest, by the way, but you just literally stick out like a sore thumb with the helmet and the armor you've got to run. Which is obviously all blue, as you guys saw, and it's one of those quests that's really, really annoying to do, in my opinion. It's up there with Setup, which is another quest that I'm actually still on. I haven't done that yet on my main account, but it's one of those quests that I do not envy people if they are on it. I have noticed, I'm pretty sure, the little circular attachment on the left-hand side of the M4 here is one for a flashlight. If that's correct, and I am thinking along the right lines, is that? No, it's a screwdriver. I thought it might have been a Salewa. I don't know why, but I thought it might have been a Salewa. But if it is a flashlight holder, I will 100% be putting a flashlight onto this particular gun. Because I'm pretty sure we have one on the shotgun that we've got sat in our stash, the MP153 we've got in the stash. So, all in all, so far this has been a good raid. Hopefully we can just get out of it with not too much difficulty. Obviously we started going towards the wrong extract just a moment ago, but managed to find my bearings quite nicely and quite quickly. So we are now heading towards the correct extract in the form of Emacom. We didn't actually loot the secret stash over by the power station, but that's not an issue. I'd rather not stick around there after getting that kill and making so much noise with regards to obviously killing the scav. Pretty sure the player in the blueberry armor was coming down to try and kill either myself or any scavs that could have been potentially still lurking in the general vicinity for the power station, because he must have heard the couple of shots we ringed out to kill the scavs, so he probably thought, you know what, I'm going to go over there and see what's happening. Turns out that it was the wrong decision for him. Valiant effort, but we managed to get an M4 out of this raid, as well as a graphics card and a 1G phone. As long as we don't have any extract campers down here, the reason I kind of decided to come around the back of the tents here is this is the general area that people like to extract camp. And I was just shot at. Don't know where from, but I was just shot at. He's up top on the scaffolding, I think, just by where that shot came from and where it hit. So luckily, managed to survive the raid, which is awesome. Got an M4 out of it, which is a great win. So, all being well, we are now into level 4 territory, so we're making good progress. Obviously, no luck on the shotguns, no luck on the Salewas at present, but we will get there eventually. So I'm trying to think. Graphics cards, I know we need for a quest for Peacekeeper, so I am going to keep hold of it. I was thinking maybe I sell it, but then I thought, actually, you know what? Excuse me. I'm going to need it for Peacekeeper, so I'm going to keep hold of it. I'm going to sell the 1G phone though, because as I said, I'm not going to need it. I'm not going to be going for Kappa on this account. If we end up getting closer to the Kappa container, then yes, we will probably keep hold of it, but we aren't going to do so for now. Keeping hold of the ES lamps because they trade for grenades, and to be honest, I'm thinking this I don't need. I think I don't need this. The syringe I know I need for a quest. Don't think I need this. I'm just trying to figure out bits and bobs that I don't think I need for quests. Don't think I need this. This and this I need. This is good for the hideout. Caps for the hideout. Obviously this for a quest. This is also a quest. This is also a quest. We'll sell this. Keep hold of that. Sell the broken LCD. Keep this. Keep this. We'll sell the dog tag. We'll sell the tape. I don't think, actually I think we might need the RAM for a quest. I could be wrong. And then we have obviously the magazine for the M4 we got out of that raid. Got another rig, but what I'll quickly do is just sell the bits and bobs that we can sell out of this to Therapist, which is pretty much everything. And then we'll put this rig on top of the others there. We'll probably end up starting to use these rigs for storage once we start running out of room. We are probably just going to go back in with the Vepa KM VPO 136 because it worked out really well in our favour that last raid, especially against an M4 as well, which is actually really good. Plus we've got another one as a backup there as well. Let's just reload this, and we have PS ammo that we can just pop in there. Got the 308 key again. I think it's a dorms key we don't need, but we'll keep hold of for now. I'm going to hit the repair option on this, albeit the repair isn't great. It's worth doing. So now, as per the rules, in the next raid, we can go ahead and we can ensure something else. So I'm going to go ahead and ensure probably the helmet, because it is another piece of armor for us. It's literally the only armor we have currently. But what I am going to do this next raid is I am going to run into customs. I'm going to run in with just a March room key, I think. I don't really want the other two. The reason I'm going to go customs is I want to try, if I can, to go to the crack building, or the crack house as people call it, which has a lot of meds in there. I want to try, if I can, to go dorms for the March room. And I'm just going to try and have a decent raid, again trying to avoid player contact if possible, but at the same time I'm not really too fussed, because as you just saw, we managed to kill someone with an M4 by tapping him to the throat with a with a Vepa KM. So I'm not really that fussed if we do run into players, but at the same time I'd prefer not to. So I am going to go to customs this raid, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and we are going to ensure the helmet this time around. Also, I'm going to try, if I can, just to stay in the raid that little bit longer. And what I'm actually going to do, thinking about it, is I'm going to take in the bit of a bigger backpack that we have here on ourselves. just so that way if we do find a bunch of good loot or a bunch of loot in general, we just have more space to actually pop that loot into something as we go forward. And I'm also going to take in another AI2 because I have a feeling that this one is not going to be enough. But we have our plan for the next raid, guys, so I'll see you once we load in. Alrighty, so this is actually a really good spawn for me. I was about to say, if we have spawn late, the one place I would love to spawn is in the one area of the map that I know spawns fuel, which is this area here. If you didn't know, you can have fuel spawns there. There's somewhere nearby that you can also have spawns for, whatchamacallit, like headsets. I can't remember what building it's in, but it's very, very close by. You can have headsets pretty much spawning there quite regularly. So it's quite nice. Sorry, there's a guy outside, hence why I went quiet. Stand still, please. I don't want to take a shot because I'm not going to get a headshot. Whiffed the headshot, so I'm backing up from that. Don't want to take any unnecessary risks. This is the building I was on about, by the way, with the headset spawn. I really hope I could have just pinged him in the head, hence why I just waited. I waited so long and then I just whiffed the shot, whiffed the opportunity. So a little upset as to how that went down, but it is what it is. I am gonna just probably take pretty much all of this stuff for now, just because it is going to be potential money for us if we survive this raid. I just got to be very wary about that player. I don't know how geared he was. It looked like he had a helmet and some sort of armor on. So even if I did headshot him, I don't know if I would have one-tapped him. Solely because obviously I would be taking the car battery. Yes, please. But yeah, as I was saying, solely because I just don't know. I'm going to drop that toothpaste. Just I don't know what sort of armor he was wearing. So it could have been something that I could have one-tapped. It could have been something I couldn't have one-tapped. So there's no headset that spawned there. Not that we have the room to take it now. Now that we have picked up that car battery, which is actually a really nice find. I didn't realise they could spawn there. Finding that car battery means that, again, this is for a quest. So it means that we've got a little bit more freedom when it comes to that side of things. This is a nice little mount to find. But the main reason we are here is for the med spawns, the Salewa and stuff, so that's kind of what we're aiming to do and aiming to kind of look for. A little upset we couldn't grab the kill on the guy that kind of walked into the room we spawned in, but nevertheless it is what it is. He didn't quite stay still long enough for us, so not going to complain too much about that. So this extract is open. Not that we're going to have it, we're going to have everything across to the big red side on the map, so the customs side of the map. But right now all we're doing is we're just coming in here to see if there's anything we can pick up that we're probably going to use a little bit more than, say, other bits and bobs. I am going to use one of the humpbacks herrings that we've got in our rig, just so it makes up a little bit more room. I'm also going to drop the SVD mag, just because we're not going to be using that anytime soon, I feel. I want to examine this to see what ammo it is first, so that's not really something we want. I will be taking the AK-12 regular stock though, and I'm also just going to very quickly examine this stock for the SA-58. So, kind of avoided what could have been a difficult situation at the start there. We don't know obviously what gear the guy was running. I really wish I'd hit the headshot. If I had hit that headshot, I would have been happy. May have been able to drop in, may have been able to get some reasonable gear again, but never mind. So we get a car med kit, so that's a nice little find for us. Take the splint. I'm also going to use the humpback just so we have the slot available for reloading. And then I'm going to pick up this tube actually, so I don't really mind too much about not having room to reload now. We have quite a few reasonable bits. There is a couple of areas I want to go to in the new area of the map, which is why we decided to run this way rather than like round the front of the building that we tried to get that easy, well I say easy headshot, but a headshot on the other player, which didn't quite work out for us. We have a full magazine. So I am keeping my eyes out at this broken building in front of us to see if there's any scavs up top, any players up top. It is a fairly popular building because it does have the spawn for scav boss. So I just wanted to check out the front there. I'm going to slow the pace down just a smidge as we go in. Last thing I want to do is sprint full power into here, and we do have scav boss to deal with because we don't really have the right weapon to deal with scav boss, in my opinion, especially with 10 round mags. Not really the most ideal situation. So there's a Salewa. So this is where we need to start thinking about what we want to drop. So we're going to drop this, keep this, we'll drop the 2 stocks, we'll keep the car med kit, we'll drop this, we'll keep the splint, we'll keep the nails, we'll keep the tube. The Tushonka we need for a quest as well. Don't know why the chloride's in there, but we don't need it anyway. Didn't even realise it had gone in there. So Salewa, I'm going to take the horse if I can, which I can quite easily. So that's our first Salewa for the therapist quest. There is some sugar here, which will be quite nice to take as well. So I'll very quickly just examine and take. So this juice I know for a fact is going to go into our container, but we're going to be using it all, so we're not going to keep it in there, so it doesn't matter too much that it drops into the container. So this is one building that we wanted to check. I don't think we'll check Crack House, which is obviously what it's called now, just because we have found a Salewa here. Those particular cigarettes are going to be good for a quest. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the AI2 that was 60 out of whatever, and I'm going to take the full one and pop that down. Obviously with the Salewa we can use it and then hand it into therapist, but I tend to like to just hand it in as soon as we have it. There's a lot of food and drink in this building if you guys didn't know. And then you've got this back area here, which has some med spawns as well. So that's another Salewa. So we are going to drop the prism scope. The sodium will drop. We'll keep the nails. And then we'll take both the Salewa and the car medkit. So this is a nice little area if you are looking for your heals. Especially if you're a newer player and you're looking for your Salewas for therapist. Some gunpowder, it's blue gunpowder, and then I'm guessing that is a PP19, which we will take. So right here we are full, so we are going to start making our way towards the extract. That's another Salewa. I don't actually know how many Salewas we need, but I'm going to take it over the horse, because that gives us 3 out of, I think, 4 possible. I'm not too sure how many it is now. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it gives us the Salewas for the quest for therapist, and it also gives us a couple of car med kits, also as some heals as well, so we don't just have to rely on what we had to start with, which was obviously the AI2 and the bandages and stuff. And all I'm doing here, as I'm already full, is just examining things, so in the future they're just easier to use and easier to take. And I think that's everything we want in here. Do we have space for that relay? We don't, but I would examine it whilst we're here. Excuse me. Awesome. So that is pretty much that for this particular building. The problem is we are going to be rotating out of this a lot quicker than I anticipated us to be, which kind of means there is the high potential that we will run into players on our way out. But that's the risk we are willing to take. Part of me does want to try and go into the building here, which is what's named as Crack House, because there's a ton of med spawns in there, just to see if we can find that final Slayer. I'm pretty sure it's 4 you need for Therapist. I kind of want to go there, but at the same time I'm not too sure. And I'm not too sure because it is a very, very, very popular building. And I don't necessarily want to lose all of the progress we've made. So I am listening out to see if I hear any kind of footsteps inside. Doesn't look like there's any type of meds apart from the AI2. Very quickly checking here. So it doesn't sound like there's anyone here. So this is a nice little area to come to if you are looking to try and grab yourself some meds. If you're looking for painkillers, it's a really good place to come to as well. Just close the door real quick. Check the jacket, check the duffel. I know we are fully like full in everything, but I don't want to leave here knowing that there could have potentially been something for us. So those Marlboro cigarettes are needed for a quest, so we'll take that over the nails for now. And the reason I'm taking all of the cigarettes, by the way, is with past experiences in this game. I've only played 2 wipes, and I'm obviously not as experienced as the likes of Pestily and stuff. But with past experiences, I have figured out that it is always best to pick up those types of cigarettes, or any cigarettes that you find that aren't Apollos, for the quest. So there can be intel that spawns in here on the shelves and on the floor, which is kind of why I've stopped and just searching like I am. Nothing there. Some more juice, which I'll probably pick up. So there's some intel. So in that case, we are going to drop a car medkit. Drop a car medkit. We'll take the intel. Intel's worth a little bit more to us than the car medkit. Obviously, the car medkit will give us the ability to heal. But we have already got one. We can always come back into this map again and get ourselves some more. So it's not the end of the world by dropping the car medkit. But as I said, the intel is just that little bit more important to us when it comes to everything. There's another car medkit there, some painkillers. What I'm really looking for here is morphine, which I've just found. So I'm actually going to drop the blood set for the morphine. And I know that's probably a bit strange, but the reason I'm taking the morphine over the blood set is the blood set I don't need for a long time, whereas the morphine can help exponentially when it comes to getting through raids. Just have a quick check out front, see if anyone is pushing towards this building, which it doesn't look like they are. I just got to be careful coming out of the building, which is why I'm coming to this particular area here. We found ourselves our last Salewa, which is really, really handy. We also found a CMS kit. That CMS kit isn't as worthwhile as it would be on my other account. Don't necessarily need the sugar, and I could drop this mag to take the CMS. And the reason I say that CMS isn't really as worthwhile in this series is, yes, okay, it's nice to have the CMS. There's another morphine there. We'll drop these for that. The reason I say it's not really as worthwhile is because we can't put it in our container. And normally with a CMS kit, you're going to end up putting it in your container because it's something that will basically keep you alive during the course of the raid. So you kind of want to keep hold of it as much as you possibly can to obviously like heal your blacked out limbs. But at the same time, it's one of those things that it just isn't as valuable in a series like this. Like hardcore, any type of series like this, that's behind us. I'm just gone. I don't care. Do not care. It could be Sniper Scav that just shot us, to be fair. Completely forgot he's a thing. Yeah, it was. Okay, I completely forgot he was a thing. Let's just hope he doesn't try and shoot us here and hope that this doesn't bug out on us. There we go. Okay. The reason I said I hope this doesn't bug out on us is that particular extract is very, very notorious for being open, but not actually allowing you out of the map. So I'm happy with that run. We didn't get any kills on scavs. We didn't get any player versus player interaction, but we got 4 Salewers, which I think finishes off the quest for Therapist. The reason I don't want to take them into a raid and use them and then come out again is solely because I don't want to run the risk of losing the Salewers. And as you saw, that building can be, both buildings I went into can be extremely, extremely good for meds. 2.1k XP for pretty much doing nothing. Obviously, we took a little bit of damage coming out of that raid from the Sniper Scav, which I completely forgot was up there. So a little bit of damage to the stomach, but we can heal that quite nicely. It was a PS blunt damage round, so that must have been the SKS that the Sniper Scav had. But nevertheless, we managed to get out of another raid. So that's 2 raids back-to-back today in this particular episode that we've got out of, which I'm very, very happy about. Obviously, both PMC raids, both completely different raids with how things kind of unfolded. Obviously, the first raid that we did, we got a scav kill, we got a PMC kill on interchange. We didn't actually go and do what we went into interchange for because we had the M4 from the player, we had his rig, we had his headset. So I just kind of wanted to get out and reset, and then I thought, you know what, let's go customs. And the reason I didn't go across to dorms is because we saw literally no one in the construction area of the map. So that kind of said to me, you know what, if there's no one over construction, that means, so I'm going to use this because we are going to hand it in anyway. If there's no one over construction, probably means that they're going to be over towards the dorms side of the map. That was my thought process anyway. So I thought, you know what, we won't go over to dorms. There's no point in going to dorms right now. We'll just get out of this map, and that is what we ended up doing. So we've got some morphine for some painkillers right there. So what I am going to do is I'm going to take this out. And what we can end up doing is we can actually make a Salewa for ourselves in the hideout, which is probably what we're going to end up doing. Morphine, I am going to put one of those back on for the next time we go into our PMC run. We've got another Marlboro cigarette, we've got a tube, and we've got another Tushonka. So we're making good progress when it comes to the quests. The only downside is we haven't found ourselves the 133 shotguns, which is a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, I don't know why I just clicked on character there. I feel that we could potentially find them during the course of our scav runs that we end up doing. So what I've decided, even though, okay, so it's 5 Salewers that we need to hand in, so we can actually make one more to finish this quest in our hideout. So what I thought I'm going to do is I'm going to limit the amount of scav runs you can do per episode if you're recording it or whatever to like 1, or at least for myself I'm going to limit it to 1 per I'm going to limit the amount of scav runs to 1 per episode, and I'll probably do them right at the end of the episode, so that way I can just go ahead and go, you know what, I've gone ahead and I've done this or whatever. So I'm going to turn that off, which turns this into 2 hours and 29 rather than 22 minutes, which is fine. But as this is going to be a series that's kind of weekly to start with, we might end up doing like every other day or daily in the future. I want to conserve the amount of fuel that we do have in the generator. So essentially what you can do with crafting in the game is you can turn your generator on. You can start the craft, which is what we did with the Salewa. You can then turn your generator off, and as that's continuing to craft, it will take longer to craft. So this normally takes about 22 minutes to craft a Salewa. This is now going to take 2 hours and 29 minutes, which is fine. We don't need it to do anything more than that for us at present. So let's move this all across. We can sell this CMS kit. As I said, we're not going to use it. We're not going to keep hold of it. So we are just going to go ahead and do this. What we can do obviously in the future is if we end up finding ourselves with a need for one, we can try and hunt for one in the spawns that we know of to try and obviously get ourselves a decent opportunity at being able to survive the raid. But nevertheless, that particular raid also allows us to ensure another thing when we go into another PMC raid. So we'll probably end up ensuring the weapon this time around or the headset, one of the two. But nevertheless, that is probably the end of the PMC runs for this particular episode. In fact, it will be, because I'm looking at the time on recording and I'm trying to keep these episodes for about 45 minutes to an hour. So I'm going to do a very quick factory scav run, see if we can get ourselves some more loot, see if we can get some money made, maybe even run across a bunch of dead bodies like we did in the first episode, and we'll go from there. So as soon as I'm in the raid, I'll see you then. Alrighty, so we are now into our scav raid. We have around about, I think it was 9 minutes on the clock when I just had a quick look. I'm very quickly sorting this stuff out, put myself onto full auto, and we will start making our way around the map. So there is someone on that metal grate over there, and I think they just ran upstairs. I'm pretty sure we're going to have office windows and extract. I will just check. We do have office windows and extract. Cool. So I'm going to take the Yashonka off of this player, scav, or player, one of the two, just because it will be worth a little bit of money, I feel. So that's the main reason. Shotgun down upstairs. 2 shots gone down upstairs. Okay. Right now, what I'm feeling like doing is just kind of traversing the map and just seeing what I can find elsewhere before I go upstairs, because we've got 9 minutes, so it's not like we have to go upstairs straight off the bat. So I am very quickly just going to go downstairs, go into the hallways down here, and then we can go upstairs afterwards, hopefully, and rock and roll from there. So we've got 7 minutes and 40 odd seconds left on the clock. So that is why I'm kind of playing a little bit quickly, but not massively. I just got to remember I've only got 20 round mags. So nothing's gone downstairs by the seams of things. Everything seems to have gone upstairs. Pretty sure I just heard someone, so I'm just going to pause for a brief second. So they're up to the top left of me from what it sounds like. That was a flash that's just gone off. They're definitely above me. Definitely above me. I'm trying to figure out what that weapon is that keeps firing. It sounds like it could be a player. And part of me really wants to go up and investigate, but it might not be the play. But we'll see. We're not risking anything because we've gone in as a scav. So it's not like we're going in with our own gear. So I'm going to pause at the stairs. Then I'm going to just briefly peek. So there's a few dead bodies up there. But I don't want to just kind of bum rush for loot. Going to clear underneath first. Just heard footsteps that could have been above us. Clear the showers. The main reason I'm clearing in here is I don't want someone to be like they've killed everyone upstairs and then they're just like hiding in here healing or something. He has a shotgun. Fair play. I knew I heard him. I tried to play it really slow. I have a feeling he's either the person that killed... Well, I couldn't have been the person that killed the guys at top. It could have been. But with a shotgun, I feel like... Actually, it might have been a shotgun I was hearing. But yeah, one shot to the face, pretty much, I think is how he died there. Either the face or the thorax. But regardless, it is what it is. That's going to be the way of your scav runs sometimes. You're either going to win some or you're going to lose some. As soon as I heard him sprinting, I should have uncrouched. I should have slow walked, and I should have pushed around the corner. Obviously not knowing what he had, I thought I might be able to get the jump on him by, as he ran, lean peeking around the corner. A little bit too slow. But nevertheless, we ended up getting a few good raids under our belt with our PMC. We got ourselves a nice little M4, albeit not quite happy with the barrel on the M4 at the moment, but we can't really do too much about that currently because, yeah, we don't have the ability to customize the end barrel or anything on those lines at present, because we're not a high enough level to even go there. Plus, we probably won't have any of that kind of stuff unlocked either. So what I'm going to do very quickly before we end up finishing this episode off is I'm just going to start tidying up the stash just a smidge down the bottom by putting pretty much everything we have into our rigs. So the stuff that will fit into the rigs, we're just going to throw in here. And I say stuff we can fit into the rigs. Once we've filled them all up, we may have, in fact, this I'm going to sell. The reason I'm going to sell that, and I'm also going to sell, actually I need the sodium, I'm pretty sure, to upgrade the, upgrade something in the hideout. Don't quite remember what it is that I can upgrade in the hideout with sodium, but I can. But I'm going to sell the USB, solely because with that, the only reason we kind of want to keep hold of it is for M1As, but we're nowhere near that level yet. I'm going to sell the SP rounds, PMM. I'm just going to sell everything that I know doesn't go into a gun that we have. Magazine is full. Let's just very quickly unload the ammo so we know exactly what we've got in there. We've got this for the shotguns. We've got this for our Vepa KMs. We have the APS magazines for the APS pistols we have. We have that. Okay, so this is our little sell area of stuff that we can get rid of. So let's very quickly sell to, if we can, therapist. And also, can I sell to mechanic? I can sell that to mechanic. So I'm going to start selling to mechanic as well, because I think you can get him leveled up quite quickly compared to the rest if you sell enough stuff to him. Everything else I'm going to keep hold of. Actually, I'm going to keep hold of everything bar these. Everything else can stay. That can stay, those can stay, and that can stay. Cool. So, nevertheless, as I said, we had some really successful raids as a PMC today. Managed to get ourselves a M4 out of it. We managed to get ourselves the car battery. We managed to get ourselves a bunch of Salewas, another rig, which is currently holding this stuff, intelligence, and a graphics card, which is absolutely incredible, especially finding the graphics card in a PC. Wasn't expecting it at all, but we managed to find it. I don't know who spawned at the power station, but they turned the power on, but they didn't search any of the PCs. So I'm guessing it's either a high-level player that didn't need to search the PCs, or I have no kind of explanation as to why they didn't search the PCs, because they could have got themselves a graphics card. Nevertheless, we ended up with it, and I'm very, very happy. Also, the intelligence is huge as well. But nevertheless, guys, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for future content. Links in the description down below will be to my social media as well as my Twitch channel, which I do stream on Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So be sure to come and tune in if you want to see some live action from myself. I'll also leave links in the description down below to my other YouTube channels. I've got 3 other YouTube channels. 2 are based around trading card games, and 1 is based around miniatures. What I mean by miniatures is stuff like Warhammer or equivalent. So if you are into that kind of stuff, be sure to go and hit a subscribe over on that channel, which I'll leave in the description below, as I said. The trading card game channels, there's one trading card game that I'm currently creating myself, which will have its own channel and own explanation, etc. over there. And I'm also creating a channel for Yu-Gi-Oh!, Pokemon, Argent Saga, and other trading card games as well. Being in the UK, Argent Saga is a little bit difficult to get hold of, but I will end up getting some at some point in the near future. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.